Get Valiant.
Get Valiant 189. My name is Hoosier, and that is Josh. Welcome to the show. We're happy to see you. We're talking about Savage number 3. And, Josh needs to turn off his sound on his YouTube. That way we don't get that reverb back. But this show is almost over. We hope you hit like. We hope you did save everything else. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Hi, it's the big 189. That's all I have to say about that.
Well, welcome to the show, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us on a Wednesday night. I don't know what the weather is wherever you're at. It's rainy here. Rainy and cold.
Oh, it's beautiful. Sun's out in Seattle, and it's rainy and cold where you're at. I love it.
Should be the other way around. It should definitely be the other way around.
Oh, man. We're getting out of the rain here. Love it.
That's cool.
Yep. Man, so what's happening on your end? What's going on?
Nothing much. I bought a brand new computer, and then I realized that the only headphones I had that have a microphone are my iPhone headphones, and they have that iPhone jack. So I was like, well, I guess I'm not using this on my brand new computer. I'll just search our chat on my brand new computer and do this off my iPad.
Okay.
So great. So glad I spent the money. I'll get that fixed at some point. But I was just like, oh, damn it, really? Come on, life.
Have to make it work eventually. We'll figure that out. So, obviously, no Eric today. He's recovering from his WrestleMania show.
Yeah.
He
defeated Sami Zayn and did the stunner on Logan Paul. Yep. So he's recovering. Okay, did you see a picture of the guy I'm talking about though, Kevin Owens?
Oh, I know who you're talking about, and
he looks just like Eric, kind of, huh?
It was, yeah. It's just if he had what's the guy's name from AWE who just died a couple months ago? Oh, Brody Lee.
Brody Lee.
Yeah, he has Brody Lee's beard, but with Kevin. Yeah.
I know people probably, I don't know how people feel about us talking about wrestling. Eric doesn't like it, but we got Peacock, and there was a deal where it was like, hey, if you want to have Peacock for 4 months for $10, do it. And so I was like, oh, I should do that. Why not? I like streaming services, and $10 is nothing. It's like a meal, like a fast food meal nowadays. But I saw I could watch WrestleMania, and I've watched WrestleMania for years. And my 7-year-old Desmond, he just loves wrestling right now. He's so into it. And so I was like, hey, let's watch a little bit of WrestleMania. And that match came on. It was Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And I was just like, holy shit. That dude kind of looks like Eric.
That's funny.
And I was it was kind of messing with me the whole time where I just kept looking at him and being like, if Eric just cut his hair and did his beard just a tad different. Yeah. Eric's hair is kind of like that a little bit, but it's like if he just cut it a little bit shorter, a little higher up maybe, he would look just like him. I was like, it's fucking crazy.
Do you know which one that I get every once in a while? It's like, hey, you look like that wrestler.
Hold on. Let me think. Let me look at you right now.
Wait, you want me to give you a clue? I'll give you a clue without yeah.
Okay, what's your clue?
Oh, yeah. That's right. Oh, yeah. Little pelvic thrust going on. The kids love him. Otis. Love Otis. Otis, working man Otis.
Yeah, so my son knows who Otis is. I didn't know who Otis was until there's this movie on Netflix called The Main Event about a little kid that gets
he's in there. That's right. Yep.
Yeah, and his thing is he farts. He does like a super long fart. And
that's
so
cool.
My kids are always just like, that's the dude that farted. Like, God.
He's in that Fighting with the Family too. That other Fighting with the Family about Paige.
I haven't seen that. Yeah. I have not seen that one. I heard it was good.
It's pretty decent. It's decent.
Yeah. My wife enjoyed it, and I was like, wow, my wife likes something about wrestling. Like, kind of way out of her wheelhouse.
But this is a Valiant comic book podcast. We're going to talk Valiant books and whatnot.
Or at least we could have talked about the Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant.
Oh, Jimmy
but
Woogie
we
Man.
didn't. But we didn't. We just.
Hey, it happens. It happens. So, with that being said, sad that Matthew Klein has departed.
Yeah, so hey, that was like kind of like the big news from like a week ago is that our buddy Matthew Klein from the VP of Sales at Valiant.
Speaking of wrestling too, right?
Yeah, a big wrestling fan. We've talked some wrestling with him, and he got a better job. What we think, at least he got a different job. He's working for Penguin, part of
Penguin Press or something. Penguin Distributors or
Penguin is Marvel though. Like it's like whatever their little
Penguin
joint thing that they're doing now.
Heather Antos on that?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Penguin, I don't know. I thought she had the rights to anything comics.
I see where you're going there.
There you go. Yeah.
No, but
Penguin Random House, which is pretty random.
Which is pretty cool because that's a really big deal. I mean, we're happy for Matthew. He's a guy that we got along with. It's always kind of like crappy because you get to know some of these people at Valiant. I mean, we're a Valiant themed podcast, so it's the bread and butter right there for us. So you get to know some of these people, and it kind of stinks when they leave because then you're just like, well, who's going to take that place, and are they going to be personable? Because I feel like we're kind of running out of the people that I know that I talk to.
We still got Double G, man.
We got Greg, but for me, that's about all I've got now. I feel like all the people that used to work there were the people I used to talk to. Yeah. So people at Valiant, you can be my friend, and I'll gladly chat you up. I won't be in your DMs or anything, but we can chat.
Yeah, I would say still got Lisa. Lisa's awesome. So,
yeah.
And then
I don't know Lisa though. I've never.
Oh, really? She's awesome.
I don't think I've ever had a conversation with her because I don't think she's ever been at Seattle.
No, she's been at Portland a couple times. That I've gotten to meet her a couple times, and I can't, as a person, whatnot, I can't say enough high regards to her. She's a really awesome person. Yeah.
So. There's also Danny. I do talk with Danny a little bit.
Yep.
She's great. She interacts with me a little bit on social media, and I think I met her at the booth the last year that I went to Emerald City. But the numbers are dwindling, so I guess I'm gonna have to start being social on social media with some of the people.
Yeah,
trying to make some friends.
So start your networking. And we're a couple weeks away from a big Valiant release, and I think we're gonna have a little bit of a Valiant show on that day. So make sure Shadow Man show. More news to come on that. Yeah, for Shadow launch.
Yeah, we're working on some stuff behind the scenes to try to make the
big 190. We're gonna make it a big 190.
The big 190. We're trying to make it a big 190. If you pay attention to the show, if you've been not necessarily a long time listener, but you've been listening for the last year or so.
Wait a second.
Fair enough.
You're gonna spoil something.
Well, I was just gonna say, we did a really special episode about a year ago. And if you know what I'm talking about, we're trying to see about getting the band back together for something like that.
We're gonna have a little family show again, right?
Yeah,
a little family show. So I think it'll be fun.
Yeah. So you know what I've been doing the whole time while we've been talking?
Organizing your cards that you're posting on Facebook.
I'm organizing my cards that I've been posting.
And you know what, kids? That was not planned. I was just assuming because Josh has been loving his cards on Facebook right now.
I don't know if that's true. So here's the thing. About a month ago, we were like, "Holy shit, we don't have anything coming up for a month." We went from Savage 2 to tonight's Savage 3, but we haven't had anything really in between. And I kind of hate when we don't have anything at all to do because. For one, I do kind of feel like if you're not posting, people kind of forget you. Social media is such a busy world that it's easy to kind of get lost in it, And people are listening to other podcasts. I don't even know what goes on at Valiant Comic Fans anymore. So I was like, well, what can I do to at least do something about our social media presence because we're not going to be doing anything for a month. And so I was like, you know what? I have an idea, and it comes down to a contest. At this point, I don't know when it ends. It ends when we basically open 36 packs of Valiant cards. Sean Hayes, I think Shadow Man. I know Shadow Man is better than Savage.
Yes.
Quote me on it. It is better. I've read it.
Yes, it's better.
We won't go in. We'll go into it more. But I did write a review, and I really like Shadow Man 1 a lot.
But I'll just say that's kind of a low bar. I'll just put you there.
Yeah. So anyway, though, so I had an idea, and I love to give stuff away, and I feel like at Valiant we're always really generous. Speaking of giveaways, Sean Hayes, pipes up, but he's always been really lucky. He's been the recipient of a lot of our goodwill. I do love to do giveaways, even if it's stuff from my own collection, and I've done that before. Even if it's things that I've bought at conventions, which I've done before. But I was like, man, what can I do that would just like be something I could do every day? And I've got boxes of Valiant Arrow 1 cards. And people have been kind of posting about cards lately. I think like during the pandemic, people have run out of things to spend money on that are like legitimate and like life-saving and critical. And they're like, hey, let's buy comic book cards and stuff like that and drive up the values of them. There's no value to like the Valiant card as far as I know. But I opened a box and I was like, I'll just open a pack every day. We'll get a full set. I'm fairly certain. If I don't pull a full set from the box, I've got spare cards. But every day I open up a pack. I think today was day 23. Cannot remember correctly. But there's been like a really bad downside to it. Every pack so far, except for one, has contained doubles. And one pack contained 2 sets of doubles. And I've opened boxes before of those Valiant cards. That's how I got my original set. So it's kind of sad to be like, holy shit. I mean, like, it's never been like that. I've never had it be so bad opening a box of cards and every single pack contains doubles. Like they want you to make a friend and trade, like force you to trade with them, but that part of it's been kind of a bummer.
That's smart. That makes somebody else get the cards. Makes you want to hand it out. Yeah. In case one guy buys 1 pack, like it forces 2 people to have a card.
Yeah.
That's smart. Good marketing.
There was one day, it's funny. There was one day where I opened a pack. There were no doubles. And I was like, this is the greatest thing, man. I'm so happy. And then John Bourne, if you guys ever follow any of our Valiant groups, John Bourne, I think he listens to us too. He sometimes pops up on our chat. Yeah, he's like, tomorrow you're going to get 2 doubles or something like that. And we did get 2 doubles. And I was just like, you suck, dude. I mean that in the nicest way. I like John. Yeah. But we had 2 doubles. So we're trying to get there. And my whole thought was just that, it's a slow time. We'll do a giveaway. And I'll finish off the deck to make some more cards to make sure we have a full set when I send this out. And I'll pull some books out. I'll pull out some variants or some cool stuff just to make it more of a cool giveaway. Because when we do the giveaway, I want people to interact with us. I want people to pop up on the episode. I'm gonna make it worth the time. So I did just go through my entire Valiant collection, and I pulled out 7, almost 8 boxes of doubles and triples and more than that of Valiant books. So nice. I've got a lot of stuff that's cool to give away, I think. So I don't know. Yeah. In a couple weeks, we'll see where we go. It'll probably be done after the Shadow Man episode. But look for another giveaway. And actually, real quick, when we do the Shadow Man episode, there'll be a giveaway on that one also. So we'll have a couple weeks of giveaways. Yep.
$5 gift cards to Taco Bell.
Chili's gift cards. I used a part of it to get some chicken crispers. Dude, sorry.
That would suck. There's no Chili's in Washington.
Do you miss Chili's?
No, actually, I really don't.
The last paying job I ever had was for I'm trying to think what they would be referred to as, but I worked for a credit card ISO, and they used to process something like $6 billion worth of transactions every year. So they made money. And my very last Christmas bonus as a working member of society was a $25 gift card to Chili's. And I was kind of like, what a bunch of cheap assholes.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not much good there.
Yeah, company processed like $6 billion with a B. But hey,
here's $25. Yeah.
Here's your $25. Don't spend it on your fam too much. You couldn't even feed your family with that.
Chips and salsa. You guys get the chips and queso special.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, we're here to talk about a book. What do you think about that book?
Let's talk about it. Do we want to throw a spoiler alert down?
Spoiler.
Drop it like it's hot?
Spoiler. Drop it like it's... Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's a spoiler alert. So let's make sure you've read the book. And if you haven't, we're going to spoil it for you. And not much to spoil, but we hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, so, the last issue was Kevin was captured and he escaped. That was like the whole issue, right? And he met the goofy Project Bizarre dudes. So this issue, it kind of opens up with him on a simulation of the Faraway, where he gets to kind of be by himself, and he gets to kind of hunt and stay away from his fandom that he has. And then all of a sudden, around the world, they think a bunch of beasts are attacking again, and he's called back in action. And that's the issue.
Yeah,
vaguely,
yeah.
a vague retelling of the issue.
That's kind of what you got out of this episode of this piece. You know, I always like going in and talking quick. You know, I guess creators Max Bemis, Nathan Stockman, Brian Reber, Hassan did letters, and then there's the covers.
Yeah,
I am not a fan of pretty much any of the covers.
The one that's showing where he's kind of like suntanning.
Yeah.
And there's that's the only one I really enjoyed out of this issue. Like the one that's supposed to be like the product placement one, I just thought is not very good. Yeah, that one where you got the thumbs up with the soda. The art's nice. The art's good on all of them, but I don't really dig it.
Yeah, I don't really dig them. I don't think it's.
Oh, the pre-order edition one's good.
It's okay.
Yeah.
His arm looks pretty. I mean, I feel bad for that rotator cuff there.
His left arm. His left arm's gonna need some Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I just don't feel like they're very pleasing to the eyes. You know, I feel like the covers have kind of taken a little dip here. So
well, you know, we are very far away from the days when like
the LaRosa was doing covers.
LaRosa and Miko,
David Mack and Miko,
And I don't mean to say it in a way to put down, but man, we are so far away from those days where it's like you saw those covers and you're like, I gotta have it, man. Like, look at that cover. Like the cover, like made you want to buy the book. If I didn't collect Valiant, none of these covers would make me buy the book. They're not that great.
Yeah, I don't feel appealed to any of these covers, and that's kind of the hard part.
Yeah.
I don't appeal to it. I actually kind of cringed making the little meme that we had to, or the little thumbnail we have to make, because I like doing that sometimes because you get like a cool piece of art, a cool cover that you get to kind of display a little bit within that, and it just like that kind of bummed me out. I felt like the cover choices were pretty not very good. And then I guess we get into the story. Him going to his own little private makeshift after Faraway island where he's basically hunting wild boar. He's got a fake him that's in the world trying to pretend to be him while he's out and about. He's, you know, loving being away, but yet then he's not loving being away. And then he's got this guy that he believes is going to be his Alfred Pennyworth, which is, yeah. And then he gets sad and he gets lonely. And then he wants to make a Wilson doll of the girl May that he met when he was locked away. You know, and then she's back in her wherever she's at. And, you know, I forget what the guy's name is. It's whatever the character, it's how invested I am right now in it. And, you know, she's getting disappointed and getting daddy issues, and she's being lied to, and it sucks for her, and she's trying to uncover their stuff. And all the monsters come up. Savage takes care of the snake octopus and figures out he's only a mile away from Miami anyway, because, you know, couldn't get far enough away because you stupid, you know, blokes couldn't do shit. So you need me. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Exo's getting handled, it looks like, somewhere else. There's one little panel of Exo.
One of Faith. Faith was up there too, and another one.
Yeah, Faith was on one. Yeah, and then that was pretty much, that's what you got.
Yeah, so I mean, like, here's the things I will say that like are positives about this. Okay, for one, I do think that like if you weren't a person who might have been invested in like what Savage was prior to this, which was 4-issue main series that we had before by B. Claymore, you know, I do think that like there's a little bit more going on here than that one, and I do think that Max Bemis did write like a very competent script for this, and there's a lot of humor. And it's a lot to read too. Like this wasn't a quick thing to browse through, but I think as the storyline goes on, I'm just like, man, I'd really rather have the really serious and kind of like over the top violent one that we had prior, and not like basically like another Quantum and Woody miniseries, but without them. Like I think like honestly, like if you took this miniseries and you're like, hey, you know what? We're gonna remove everything that's the Faraway and everything that's Savage. We're just gonna put Quantum and Woody in it, and they have to fight goofball scientists and things like that. It's probably an all right story. We probably don't hate it that much, but I think it's really hard when you've already established a character in one way. You can't really like undo it. This is a complete retcon of like who Savage is, and I mean, again, like, and maybe if you're not a hardcore Valiant person, you like this. To me, I mean, it's all right. It's just so middle of the road. On the storytelling side, to me, the only thing that really redeems it is I still do really like the art. I like a lot of the visuals, but that's the high point of it. And honestly, I'd rather read a really ugly comic that's really well written and really enjoyable to read than a book where I like the art, but the story doesn't give me enough to be invested in, because I just feel like you can't get past a bad story. Or not even a bad story. You just can't get past a story that you can't be invested in.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it's bad, but it's just not really what I want to read.
Yeah. Again, this book was not made for me by any means. And I really hope that Valiant, like, I get that, I understand that, but you have a loyal fan base and you're only putting out 2 books a month. And I think when you look at that with that fan base, and you're putting out books that aren't for them, you're going to lose that base. And just like many things, if you don't have the base, you don't have a foundation, you don't have a structure. And if you lose your foundation, you have no structure. And I think that's I don't know. It's just Shadow Man's coming around the corner, and I keep telling myself that. Sadly, Bloodshot was here, Rye was here, but the other books outside have been, not for me. And I feel like that's a common thing I'm saying, and it's kind of, I can only say it so much, and until it's if you're only doing 2, that you can't do that. I enjoyed the first Savage a lot. I liked the darkness, the grittiness, I just think back to Clayton Henry's art of having the Savage father going through the boat, and then that raptor comes behind him and he's got like his arm ripped off. Then Savage and the Louis LaRosas with the dinosaurs. It was beautiful to look at. It was quiet. It wasn't a lot of, words going on. It was just a very well, beautifully shown story. And here's this kid who grew up there. He doesn't have a lot to say. There's not a lot to say when you're on a deserted island. I mean, that's kind of what happens. And it's this, it's a 4-issue series of this kid's story. Like this one's, it's going in weird places, and now the brother's like this big mastermind of getting these, human dinosaurs to come in with guns at the very end of this one.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
The bad eggs show up.
The bad eggs show up, or they're, want to be what's the, Killer Croc. It's croc.
I'm sure at some point, if I was to go through old issues of Turok, those dudes show up. I'm just saying. Go dig out your VH1 Turoks. Those characters show up there somewhere. One point I want to point out in the chat, Sean Hayes brought up a really good point, I thought. And that is that, the first miniseries was, he had to work a lot to just survive against your average dinosaur attack. And all of a sudden, he is like this superhuman monster destroyer. He can just go through, and it doesn't matter how many of them are. He just blurs through them like Wolverine fighting like some ninjas, dude. Just like there's no chance of survival on the other side.
It's like he's got superhero powers all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And, and I do kind of think like, yeah, I mean, like for this book kind of breaks a little bit of a rule of what I mean, something that I always think was very important with Valiant was that and I hate to harp on like how things used to be. It's really counterproductive to anything we do at this point. But it was always like, well, what is the world outside your window if it had superheroes?
Oh, dang it, I was writing that.
Yeah, that is exactly what Valiant used to be. You know, it was like, oh, you know, this is our take on superheroes, the world outside your window. Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
Your window. I was trying to type it too quick. Same time I heard what you were going, and I agree.
He's like, I got to beat into it. Damn it, my point.
Well, I wanted to be like same time. Let's say it at the same time, right?
Like great minds think alike is what it really is.
Did we just become best friends? John Stamos.
But you know what I'm saying though. I mean, like these books, this book has just kind of gone way beyond that, and sometimes it even feels a little bit like the books have kind of gone beyond that. I mean, Quantum and Woody doesn't count because Quantum and Woody was always just like really weird and really outlandish.
Well,
it's what it's going for. You know, the world outside our window would never have like
quantum bands, but yeah.
Well, not even who is their the
Goat?
villain.
Vincent Goat?
No, I'm thinking of Valiant size Quantum and Woody.
Oh,
when they have to save the other
Betamax.
Yeah, well, they have to save the other universe, but they have like the president or the famous scientist who's like a crazy monster now. I can't remember who it was. My mind is Edison. Yes,
Edison. Yes,
thank you, Sean. So just that. Sorry, I just spent like a whole minute being like, you know, that thing, like without using any words to describe what it was. Actually, so like, you know, that person. Like, I don't know what he is, but he's a thing. And but we're just so far beyond like the world outside our window with a book like this. And the thing that I'm afraid of is like, if we're trying to change things around a little bit, how much of that can we do before people really start to be like, we're out? Because
it's just happening a lot right now.
Exo Manowar is a book that's got people divided, you know, and that's your flagship character. Yeah. And there's people who are like, I'm okay with it. And there's people who are like, I'm not okay with that. I don't really like what's going on. And I just hope, I mean, like, I always say, like, don't do exactly what everybody else did before. You got to change things up. You got to keep things interesting, and you can't copy someone's work. But I feel like you got to stay at least true to who the characters are a little bit. Mm-hmm. And with Savage, I just feel like this is like, you might as well just take that first main series and throw it out the window because it doesn't exist in any aspect of who this character is anymore. You know, they just took it and were like, who cares?
Especially when you have things like Savage saying that he met Ninjak, you know what I mean? And you don't see that, right? And then just things like that throw you off a lot, right? How do you not have Punk Mambo in the mix with this dude? I don't know. There's things like that.
Yeah, I mean, like that actually is a good one too, where it's like, I think we had this conversation on the last episode, I think it was, where it's like, how do you just say that you met Ninjak? How is it you don't show that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I just think like those little things, like at least people would be like, oh, that's cool. I mean, like in this one, seeing Faith, even if it's one panel, seeing X-Men, or even if it's just one panel, it makes you understand that there's a world outside outside this book that has other characters in it. But when you just make mention of them, that's just kind of weak, man. Like, just show me the goddamn shit. Pardon my language, but just show me the stuff. Come on, show me the goods.
Yeah. And you know, I guess my big hope for this is that I hope this book's for them. I hope somebody's getting joy out of it. You know, and I believe there probably is. I know that I've heard some people say they've enjoyed it, which I think is great. You know, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Like, it's just kind of sad. Like, if you belong to a community with comic books, you know, and it's so easy to be like, hey, we're a Valiant fan. There's pages and websites and things like that where you can go and you can talk with people about the stuff. And it's kind of a bummer to be like, hey, what do people think about Savage? And all the old school fans are kind of just like, I'm done. Like, I'm not reading it. I really don't like it at all. And I buy almost everything, you know, and those same people are like, I buy Exo, and that's how much they don't like Savage. And to me, like, this is just such a, like, I would say it's not bad. It's just such a different take that feels very alien. There's a lot of jokes put in here too, like when he's trying to save his butler in the ocean, and he's like, oh, there's a strategically placed box of explosives, and it's got a note on it, you know, and it's like, man, like, it just doesn't. I just don't think it works with that character, and I don't want to see it.
Coolest kill ever.
It just makes me think, like, I'm glad that, like, when I've read some of the feature books coming out, like one of them. I've read one, and I think people will be happy with it. But I just hope that there's going to be more of like things that stay true. Like if Pete is like an accountant in Harbinger, and it's just he's just totally different from everything else he does, and he's not sitting there trying to fix himself while understanding his powers and things like that, and he's just doing a bunch of stupid bullshit that has nothing to do with him. It's giving me a great disappointment,
Mm-hmm.
And if Ninjak is just him like not doing a bunch of spy shit or a bunch of ninja shit, like maybe he's just a fan of fine art, and then all of a sudden he's just like fighting other art dealers because they're trying to like outbid him on shit, I would be like, what the hell? Like, no. But all of those things to me are exactly what it means to like look at where Savage was and what Savage is now. Like it's just such crazy departures from like what it should be.
Riding his wooden Segway.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so much about this book where like I would just look at it and just be like, why? Like, take it serious, Like, I just don't understand. It just sucks because I don't understand who this is for.
Right.
Is this a book where you're like, hey, you know what? Like, Max Bemis has written some X-Men work. He's written Moon Knight. He's written a bunch of Marvel stuff. We're hoping those Marvel people will check out Valiant. Is that like what it's supposed to be? And I understand that part. Like, you need your fan base to grow. You can't just keep the same couple thousand people buying the books because eventually those people are going to drop off. I've seen how old this fan base is too. We're all pretty old dudes. You gotta get some youth in there.
Well, and are the teens going to get the Castaway reference with Wilson there?
Well, our team's going to buy a Valiant book. I mean, that's the thing I don't know because I mean, I don't really hear anybody talking about like how much they like this book outside, and I don't even hear anyone talking about this book outside of Valiant groups. Yeah. So it's just one of those things where I'm just like, who's buying this? Like, and hey, I don't know the numbers. I don't have that kind of access. I don't know what digital does. I don't know any of that. I can only speak from my own fan experience as a person who's been reading these books, at least VEI's version since 2012, but going all the way back to Bloodshot 1 when Superman died. Yeah. And it just feels like a weird departure.
Yep. Well, we can beat a dead horse here all we want, but
and I will.
You want to score it up?
Yeah, my score on this, and I'm only going to go this high because, like I said, I like Nathan Stockman's art. I'm going to go a 3 on this. I would probably even have went like a 2 and a 5 just because I don't really care like a whole bunch about where the story's going. Like you'd have to like blow my socks off for me to care about issue 4. Because I feel like this is going to be the issues of a book that like go in the box. They go in my Valiant box and they're never seen again.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of stuff that like is not going to be seen again.
This gets to go in my kid's desk and see if he ever plays it. See if he ever takes it out as a test. That's good. 3. So cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. What about you? Do you have a score for?
Wait, what?
I said, do you have a score for?
What?
Oh man, I feel like I've been Eric.
I am excited for Shadow Man #1 in a couple weeks. It's going to be super, super exciting. Cullen Bunn, John Davis Hunt. It looks good. There's some amazing covers. These store covers look freaking phenomenal.
I bought one, and sadly, that was the only cover I bought was a store one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because my shop does Comic Hub.
Right.
And I messed around with Comic Hub one day. Like I messed around with some of the settings in my Comic Hub, and it stopped displaying what the new books were every week, and it stopped displaying anything. It would only show me King in Black and Future State from DC.
Oh.
And so I was like, I don't know what I did, and I had to kind of mess around with it again. And then when I did, issue 1 was not available to pick up. But my shop knows to always put one of every Valiant book in my hold. So we'll see. But I did order Joe Gree had some issues. He had a cover that he did on Valiant Comic Fans. I think it was like Ben Templesmith. It was a really nice cover.
Oh yeah, I love Templesmith. Yep.
He does a great Shadow Man.
Yep.
And so I was like, oh, I gotta have one, because also Ben goes to a lot of conventions I've been to for some reason.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's awesome to talk to.
Yep.
He's the kind of creator who is very chatty. So I'm like, you know what, like I'll probably run into him at a convention when those happen again sometime in the future, when we all get our shots or when the plague goes away. And
yep,
you know, I'll chat with that dude and get a book signed.
Smallest conventions, and there's been. I love it. And then I've been the biggest conventions that there's been. So yeah, I don't know if I've been to a convention without been there. It's kind of crazy.
I mean, Ben did a signing in like the comic shop that's by my house.
Oh yeah, Black Cat.
Yeah, Black Cat. Yeah, he did a signing there, and I was just like, wow, Ben Templesmith out here, like crazy. Why?
One time I was out there, I ran into Doug Wagner. That was fun.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, just at Black Cat. Kind of cool.
Was that when we hung out here?
Yeah, that was that same trip. Yeah.
Oh, that's so crazy.
Yeah, that was that same trip. So. Yeah, it's gonna be. This was a book, and we got, like I said, Shadow Man. I hope everybody's pre-ordered it. I can tell you we have gotten a preview copy of that to already take a look at. You've already done a review of it, and we enjoyed it. It's something that the fan base has needed. It looks pretty cool. There's not a big departure of the character as far as the way he looks, and just all of the above there. So.
And if you ever read the Valiant Voice, they did kind of give me a shout out and a link to my review. So it was kind of a really cool feeling because as far as like working within like the field of comics, the reviewer is right below the fan. We're just like the bottom of it, you know. We're the pond scum of the world of comics and the big ocean of comics. And it felt good to just have like for one moment, like someone was like, "Hey, like we're gonna put your name out there, and people will maybe read your review.
Maybe you'll make the book."
Yeah.
Maybe you'll make the book.
But I will say, you know, we'll do a whole episode about it. But I thought it was really good. I thought it was excellent.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. It was good. I think it's good to have that. Get another staple character of Valiant Universe out there. I know we got a lot of them hanging out.
You know,
and then
if it would have been like a spooky funny book, I'd have just been like, I'm done, man.
Oh, yeah. White flag. You just see the white flag wave.
Be like, it's cool, man.
Then I think we're getting 2 of the Visitor in like 2 months. So
yeah, so that was another nice thing. That was one nice thing about this issue too of Savage is there's an ad inside, and I think that first week of June, we'll get the next issue of the Visitor. And man, I gotta go and dig those issues out and reread them because it's been a long time.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get some resolution there. So, and then we can kind of go from what happens next.
Yeah.
Well,
so we'll see. We'll see where things are going, man. Like, I mean, the one thing that's kind of good, and Matthew, before he departed Valiant, he told us that, you know, the books are going to start ramping up. We're going to start seeing more than 2 books a month, and I think that was going to start with the summer. So we're probably going to see like Shadow Man and something else, and then the Visitor, and hopefully we can get back up to like 6 books. I mean, the thing that's kind of crazy, and I know Valiant's a small publisher, but like, I don't see anyone else like slowing down really. You know, like,
yeah,
I'm sure some people aren't publishing as much, but I mean, like, I look at the books I buy, and I look at the publishers. I look at DCBS, and like, there's still like 3 pages of DC and Marvel on their own,
right.
And they've got like 50 different books, and Image has got like 20 some odd, and IDW's got like 20 something. You know, I mean, like, I think even like Dynamite puts up maybe a little more than Valiant, and I don't even buy their crap.
They probably put out like 12 issues of Vampirella a week.
Vampirella with like 35 covers, and then like,
Red Sonja,
then Red Sonja, and then the and I don't want to butcher the name, but the female character from John Carter, Warlord of Mars, Deja Thoris, how it's pronounced?
Oh, that's right. I totally didn't even put that together.
Basically, just like a bunch of characters that are scantily clad. I just don't read that stuff.
Is that really? That's Dynamite?
Yeah.
I thought Disney owned the rights to that, so that's weird. So
I think but I mean, like publishing rights.
Oh, they probably just done the movie, right? Okay, yeah, that's right.
Which I've never seen, and I've always wanted to see it. I always hear it's like one of those movies that kind of has a bad trailer, and it did terrible at the box office. But people who watch are like, no, it's a good movie.
They put a lot of money into the movie. They did horrible marketing on it, but yeah, I thought it was pretty decent. I was fine with it.
Probably not getting a sequel.
It's kind of the same way with Valerian and the Land of 1,000 Planets,
which is another one I need to see too. I'm really behind on movies.
I enjoyed that one too. I mean, I like the comics from that. I like Luke Benson, who did The Fifth Element.
Oh yes.
So some good gigs there. Yeah. Then I know that there's a bunch of Netflix stuff that's about to happen soon. Heard of some cool Netflix things happening soon, and then season 3 of The Boys. So there's good content out there, but I think to your point, though, I think there's plenty of room to and a need for people to want to pick up more things. I've seen more people collect the other things now, picking up cards again, picking up omnibus is what I've been going for, or hardcovers.
Toys are out of control. Cards are out of control. I mean, this is a little bit off topic. It's comic related. But I was looking at sold comic book listings today, and I was just like blown away by the money that's being spent on books that a year ago I would have bought for like $1. And I'm not even kidding. Like, there's just so much stuff out there that people are buying like for crazy money. Old issues of Captain America that were just like, who gives a shit? But they sell for like $100 now.
Yep.
And The Boys, like I saw someone sold like a copy of like the first appearance of the Homelander for like over $100. I was just like, what? Are you kidding me?
Dude, I'm glad I swooped up a whole bunch of the Wildstorm #1. I swooped up a whole bunch of those, so I'm happy.
Yeah, I have every issue, and I think I'm just missing like 1 or 2 variants of the original run. And then when Dear Becky happened, and I missed a bunch of the variants, I was like, I'm not even going to buy it. I'm so pissed off. And some of them were so limited. But The Boys was one of those things where I was like, I've got just almost everything. I think
they're going to reproduce Herogasm as Free Comic Book Day.
How? You can't let anybody. You can't do that. You cannot.
Free Comic Book Day, Herogasm #1.
I hope that. I mean, I don't really hope this, but like, I can't wait to read the stories of how many kids pick that book up. Because that's the thing. Like, there's not a lot of kids at comic book shops. At least here in Utah, though, when I go to Free Comic Book Day, there's a ton of kids. Yeah, and I know that a bunch of them are going to pick up Herogasm, not even knowing, not even suspecting.
That's great.
And they're going to have their world shattered. It's very fun.
Yep. And that's the one arc that John McCrea did, which is freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think we've said this before, but if you haven't seen The Boys, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's ridiculously good.
And it's one of those ones where it's a small departure from the books in the right ways.
In the right ways.
Where it needs to fit. And it still keeps some of the most ridiculous crap that you would see and cuts a little bit back. But it's kind of
hard to say sometimes with it because like there's some, I mean, like in the book was just super foul. I mean, it was really like some messed up stuff and lots of like just crazy, like, yeah. But like even that, like
that's
when it comes up, when that came up,
literally.
But when that happened is maybe how
did you choke laughing? I mean,
I was dying, but I just wish, because like in the book, he's an actual character that they interact with. He's not some dude.
He's way more role. I hope they get him more role in this.
But like I just remember he had the line of dialogue about what his secret weakness was, and it's just like it's a really dirty thing, but it's just so funny. And I mean, if there's one thing that I think the show misses, it's the Garth Ennis dialogue.
Yeah.
But man, I mean, like they make up for it. Like it's weird how like Seth Rogen did Preacher, and Preacher's terrible. It's one of my favorite comics, but the show is a real disappointment. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, "Oh, he's gonna do The Boys," and I was just like, "This sucks. Why would you even give it to him?" And it's incredible, not in a bad way. Incredible. I mean, like it is like the best. It's the best superhero show you watch.
When I heard they got Carl Urban, I was like, sold. Done. I was kind of sad about, Jack Quaid, but then when they kind of filled it and they ended up getting Simon Pegg to at least have to play Huey's dad, was like spot on because, backstory, Derek totally went Huey by looking at Simon Pegg. Like, yeah. It's ridiculously obvious. And Simon Pegg actually forwards the first trade. It's kind of awesome. So yeah. I dig it.
But, I realized, though, in watching The Boys, at least during the first season, I realized I'm kind of a big fan of Carl Urban.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's really good. I don't think everything he's in is good, but I think he's really good in a lot of stuff.
I love Dredd.
Yeah, Dredd is amazing.
Yeah.
Dredd is great. He's great in The Boys. He's in Lord of the Rings. I like him in Lord of the Rings. That's where I actually remember him first from.
Yep.
Star Trek. I like his character in Star Trek. Even though I do think the new Trek movies are kind of boring though.
I haven't watched. Yeah.
The first one they did is excellent.
What was the one at Emerald City? He had a panel and it was called Carl Urban, starring in everything. And it's like, yep, that's him.
Yeah, I just think he's a guy I like watching. He's like Kurt Russell. I always like watching Kurt Russell and everything because Kurt Russell's the same way where I'm like, not everything that Kurt Russell's in is good. But Kurt Russell is good in everything.
Hey, he was a great baseball player for the Portland Mavericks back in the day. Oh,
was he really?
Yeah, his dad owned the team.
Oh.
Yeah. Hey, and did you know, little fun fact, did you know that's his and Goldie Hawn's son that's playing fake Captain America?
Yes, I did. I only knew that because I watched so when he popped up in the episode and I was like, who the hell's Captain America? Because I feel like everybody's kind of somebody.
Yeah.
They don't just have some dude you've never heard of and you're like, oh, I've never seen that person ever before in my life and they're playing someone prominent. And so I was looking him up and I was like, where have I seen this dude from? I hadn't seen him in anything until I realized that he was in what is it? The Nazi zombie movie. Overlord.
Oh.
That movie's good.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it. No.
You should watch it.
Yep.
It's J.J. Abrams, but don't let that scare you away.
As long as it's not, Star Wars, J.J. Abrams probably can do okay things.
Yeah, I watched it on an airplane ride to Seattle one of the years. And whoever sat next to me was not having fun. But it's a gore fest.
Yeah.
We have so gone way past talking about Valiant.
It's where the content takes us, right?
We're just following the words and seeing where they take us,
And that's just what happens. So, but yeah, nonetheless, guys, thank you for joining this chat. Thank you for talking with us on all this. Go watch The Boys. Talk some more with us on that.
Watch Invincible.
Look up Kevin. Oh, yes, but look up Kevin Owens, and then let's make fun of Eric the next time you're on.
Go buy Shadow Man game. We didn't even talk about the Shadow Man game. Real quick, comes out on the PC tomorrow.
Shadow Man. All right.
So
what about the Mac? Come out on the Mac?
Or is that nothing comes out on the Mac.
Ah, shit. I'm scared.
You just have to get Minesweeper, and I don't even think they can get that. You can get apps. Come on.
I'm doing it. Got to be like the kids.
PC gaming is always better, though.
Well, it's been a good episode. It's been fun. It's been real. Make sure you hit like. Make sure you hit subscribe. And do these little things here, and we'll be right back. Boom. Like it. Subscribe it.
Bang.
Anything parting words there, Josh?
No, just, I don't know. Please join us in 2 weeks when we do our
190.
2 weeks.
Yep. 190.
And then from there, it's the countdown to 200.
2 bills.
What kind of shit are we gonna pull out of our asses then? Who knows?
maybe a savage trade.
Well.